So yeah, away from the technicalities that my colleague was mentioning before, I'm going to take a little bit of a step back. And yeah, fintech it's all about, and this is probably what is really gathering us here today. Well, since the beginning, fintech, financial technologies, were perceived as a combination of two things: finance and technology. Now what I want to talk about today is, I think this mic is still on, right? Maybe a little bit. Yeah. So, today what I want to talk about is that, is it really about just finance and technology? Or are there any other elements that we have to talk about or to mention?
Yes, it works.
Oh yeah, finally. Oh, that's it. That's what is happening to this way? Yeah, I want to go back, and the clicker is not really going. I want to go one by one. Since the beginning. The idea is it really that fintech equals finance plus technology? The idea is fintech driven by technology? And this is actually a question that is valid for different type of aspects in business, not only for finance. Who is driving who? Is it really technology that enables fintech? Or is it driven by financial use cases? Who is driving who? Or what is driving what? And the answer is not really clear. It's very hard to draw a line between, is it technology that is advancing the world of fintech, or is it new use cases that we need to have faster, cheaper, or we are becoming very demanding because of technology? What I can suggest is that probably it is driven by innovation. Yes, it is driven by innovation. Innovation is a concept that is much, much wider than a technology just by itself or a need just by itself. It's about a culture, it's a whole culture. Away from the technicalities, innovation is about creativity, it's about implication, it's about the need, and it's about sometimes, or most of the time, thinking outside of the box. However, this is not enough. We might have that. We might have the best technology, we might have use cases, we might have some innovation, or actually we think that we have innovation. And still, things are not moving in the right direction, or at least as fast as we think. So this is where we can probably come to the conclusion that fintech is greater than just a combination of finance and technology. Perhaps we need other critical factors to think of. We have the ingredients of fintech, but still, I'm having these ingredients, I'm cooking them together, I'm not getting what I'm expecting, I'm not getting what the other countries are having. What am I missing? Well, probably there are some other factors that are as important as finance and technology in order to come up with fintech. So actually here we come to the term fintech might not do justice to the whole implications and the whole ingredients that fintech is all about. First of all, and I guess that this is not new, but there is a huge need to a proper governance model, a modern governance scheme that is leading, taking the initiative, not only taking the initiative, but orchestrating all the activities that are involved in a fintech initiative. I say fintech initiative because today we have fintech services, we have fintech products, we have fintech companies, we have many, many fintech stuff. And all of them could be grouped under the term initiatives. Awareness. Many, many products are out there, but there are many, many issues that have to be addressed. Compatibility. Fintech is proud to be disruptive. Too much disruption can be a brake on advancements. We have to keep always in mind a back compatibility. We cannot jump too far in one step. So there should be always some kind of back compatibility with previous technologies, not only technologies, previous mindsets. A radical change or radical shift, if it's too violent, is not going to be adopted, it's not going to be liked, and it's not going to go anywhere. So compatibility is important to keep. And not only with preview, what's happening before, but also what is happening else in the market. Probably coordination, communication between the different fintech companies is quite important. This is what brings us also to interoperability. Today, I believe that one fintech company cannot do everything. Or one fintech initiative cannot take the burden of moving or moving ahead with its solutions. It has to cooperate. It has to be interoperable and interoperate with the others. So this is also an important factor that we have to think of. At least to foster the interoperability through different events and also at technology level, at the awareness level, even at the marketing level, all the aspects of a business to succeed. Definitely one of the concerns could be security. When there is something new, one of the first questions comes to mind. How secure is that? Can hackers steal my money? And that question is valid, and it comes from different levels, and probably the fintech startups, banks, everyone involved in fintech, they either ask this question or they are asked this question. The regulators, they will not, is it a safe, secure, is it a secure technology? Are you sure what you're doing? The money owners asking the same question. Even a company that is embarking on a new technology to develop on top of it, they ask this question. So definitely, this is an important factor that adds to it. Not only the security of technology, but also security in terms of trust. Can I trust this fintech? Can I trust this platform that Sassan was talking about? So these are some elements that when we want to proceed with a fintech initiative, it's quite important to keep in mind that this should be open and should be visible. And probably last but not least, and probably the most important, it should have a value, and the value should be clear, and should be delivered quite quickly. I don't want to wait 10 years to see the value of a fintech initiative. It should be apparent immediately, and that definitely would help in accelerating its penetration in a market or in a society. So here fintech can probably bring us to something that we need a balance. We need to provide this balance of all these factors. And these factors their importance can change in different stages of each initiative or each society, different dimensions to look at that. And from each perspective, we have to keep this balance. So we have to keep that in mind. It's not just being advanced technologically or being financially savvy or aware. We have to keep this balance between all these factors. How? Definitely by having an ecosystem, for example. An ecosystem that gathers different backgrounds, that all talk, that all share, that can be regulated somehow, that can be controlled, that can be interacted with. That is mainly the idea of having an ecosystem. Ecosystems have been researched by different international consulting companies, notably EY, and asked or requested to mostly look at was a top-down approach. Look at what the others are doing. How Dubai is doing. We're not in Dubai. How they are doing in Sweden. How are they doing in Estonia? How are they doing in the US? How are they doing in China? Okay, fine. Yeah, let's have a look. We understand. We import those models. Sometimes we import a model or import a hybrid of models. We adjust, tweak here and there, and then go to market. Most of the time this approach doesn't work, unfortunately. But sometimes it can work, depending on how the adjustment, the level of adjustment. Sometimes the whole adjustments, it means just simply completely changing the approach, which brings us to the other approach, which is a bottom-up, that starts by understanding the context, which means the country, the status, the culture, the capital structure that can be, the level of awareness, the different factors that I was just discussing. Understanding the needs, of course. Then probably we can look at what the others are doing. Of course, we should not reinvent the wheel all the time. We can get very useful experiences, but at least to look at it in a different way. I'm not looking at what the others are doing because I want to copy and paste what they're doing, but I want to learn from their lessons. And most probably, to look at their failures and learn from what they did when they failed. Learning lessons, not to take the success stories, because their success stories do not mean that I'm going to succeed the same way. I want to see how they did when they failed. So, looking at what the others are doing is a little bit different in the bottom-up approach than the top-down. Get inspired by existing models and put a roadmap. So after looking at what the others are doing, I get inspired by them, learn some lessons, and then I put a roadmap. Now I'm saying I don't mean I mean a whole ecosystem. The ecosystem. Everyone who's participating in the ecosystem, whether it's technology companies, banking sector, regulators, policymakers, users. We have also users, representatives of users. And different types of users, innovators, all the way to the laggards, those who are very skeptical and resisting the technology. Good. We have to have people who are harsh in the ecosystem to make sure that are we reaching the whole audience that we want in a fintech initiative. Define the ecosystem and proceed collectively. This is what I meant by I. It's not really I as an ecosystem. And then go to market, but I would add here, gradually. I should not wait 5-10 years and then, boom, here you got it. No. It is kind of an agile approach of doing things, going iteratively, getting feedback, regularly getting feedback, depending by culture, by context in general, has his own way of succeeding. And I believe that Oman is no wonder. It's my first visit. I was really impressed. I'm really impressed with the profiles of the people I'm meeting. And I really feel this will and this motivation. And it will be great and my great pleasure to witness this development on being a unique model for how the fintech environment could proceed. Thank you very much. I'm not sure if the questions are being asked now or later, but thank you very much. Yes.